Hey everyone, welcome to Mav Live. We're on the second Tuesday of every month at 1 p.m. Eastern. I go live making Maverick app enabled cold calls. Now, what in the world is a Maverick app enabled cold call? Well, what this means is Maverick app has found a large list, and started prospecting to that list. And people have opened some of those emails, but perhaps never replied. Okay. So what I'm doing here is creating an engagement that a machine or that an automation could never do. What I'm trying to show everyone here is that the human element is still needed. Your sales skills, your listening skills, your activity is still needed to get people onto your calendar, get them to the negotiation table and be working for them and be closing, okay? A machine can't do it all. So just a touch, a human touch to reach out and communicate in a way that's relevant for the recipient goes a long way. Not everyone wants to be called. Some want to be emailed. Not everybody wants to be emailed. Some want to be called or texted or LinkedIn. So we're going to cover a few of those things today as I make some Maverick app enabled calls. I have a few people here that I'm going to call that have opened a ton of emails, but have never actually gotten back to me. So hopefully, while this is recording, I can get to the bottom of all that and diagnose why they didn't reply, whether or not they're interested, and either get them out of the pipeline or push them further down the pipeline. By the way, to all the salespeople paying attention to this recording at some point in time, you guys know pushing them out fast is as important as pushing them down the pipeline fast as well, so that you can get to your next opportunity. So what we're going to do here is start making some Maverick app enabled calls. Okay, I'm going to do those live there. Hopefully you can hear it. My phone is right here. And so speaking of which, it's time to introduce the idea of getting your mind right for these cold calls. Okay. One, you need to close everything that is a distraction down. As a matter of fact, usually I have LinkedIn open because I believe in the concept of multi-channel outreach. And if I cold call someone and I get their voicemail and I want to follow up with them, or if they tell me to follow up with them, I'd like to do it in a different way than what I've already done, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So multi-channel outreach becomes really important and really effective, by the way. To bring this back around, I usually even close LinkedIn. The only reason I'm leaving it open for you guys right now is so I can show you literally what I do. So close your email, close Facebook, close all your socials. The only things that you should have open and available to you are the following. One, old school pen and paper, baby. Get it written down, because you're just not going to have the finger dexterity and the paying attention skills to calendar somebody and get them onto your calendar, to meet with them, to take notes on what they say. It's best to just open up a pen and piece of paper or notebook and write everything down. Next, your sales script. I don't expect you to see what that says. You're going to hear me say it a bunch of times. Now, I don't care if you have your sales script up on a monitor in bold so you can't miss it, or if you have it memorized, or if it's on a piece of paper. It doesn't matter, but have it down cold. I do recommend, if you're going to make cold calls, that you do not fake it. You don't ad-lib it. You don't make it up. You read off a piece of paper, because the more you internalize it and memorize it, the easier it gets for you to be a human being and not act like a robot. It's really strange. People think that when they're reading off of a script, that they become a robot. If you practice it, the more you practice it, the less robotic you become. But if you don't have a script, the more robotic you are. You're just regurgitating lines that don't make any sense to someone in hopes that something would land. It's like throwing crap against the wall to see what sticks with them. So I can't drive that home enough. Have a well-refined script that you've practiced that ends with a question. You'll hear me do that. Next, get your calendar up on a screen. If you have one, I recommend having a multi-screen setup here. So my calendar is right over here so that I can see when I'm available, compare it to when the person I'm speaking with is available, and book a call. The next thing, and this is new, this is kind of a cold calling hack for all of you. Pro tip here: have your booking software open in a tab as well. This is kind of a way to double down on your calendar, right? So you can see with your eyes the gaps in your calendar. But what if someone is on the phone and say, hey, do you have Tuesday at 11? That's a really specific reference. But what if they say, I'm available anytime next week? Psychologically speaking, you're more likely to be able to identify next Tuesday at 11 than you are to be able to identify a specific time anytime next week. It puts your brain into analysis paralysis and you just don't click. You don't get it. So what's cool about having your calendar tool open, your calendar scheduling tool open, is it'll automatically tell you when you're available without a gap in the calendar. And here's the better part. You type in their name, their phone number, their email address, they get the same exact calendar invitation that you would normally send to your customers. And if you have it set up the right way, that person will get a reminder about a day before and then a couple hours before your actual scheduled meeting, which reduces how many no-shows that you have. There you go. Like, you got to do that, right? The last thing that you need before you get going, and I promise I'll shut up here, is you need your list of people to reach out to. How often have you sat at the table and said, I'm going to do it today? And then you're like, crap, who do I call? Yeah, you need that list way ahead of time. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to dive in and we're going to start making these calls. Okay. So I have my first number here. The last thing I'll say is I hope your hands free. Make yourself hands free. So I keep my phone on a tripod. So let's call this first contact. So shame on me. This guy has opened seemingly a ton of my emails and I have not yet called him. So the goal here is just to get him to commit to a time or get him out of the pipe. So let's do it. Let's turn that up. No, it's not high volume. We'll do our best. Gonna be voicemail.
Hi, you've reached the voicemail of AJ Bruno. I'm sorry I can't get to the phone right now. Leave me a message and I'll return it as soon as I can.
AJ, hi, good afternoon. It's Steve from MaverickApp. Have a couple questions for you and some business development ideas. You can reach me at 774-571-7985. Thanks, AJ. So it's a calm message. It's not, by the way, cadence and tone are really important. Don't get excited about it. Speak as if you've done it 1,000 times. I love sales. I get passionate about it. But when you get overly excited about it, people interpret that excitement as kind of like a pitch. So there's a fantastic resource that you should check out. His name is Sabri Subi, I think is the name. And his advice is give advice and pitches clinically as if you're a doctor, not as if you're a customer service rep. Customer service is all up here with their voice. But a doctor just delivers it to you straight. And cold calls need to be straight and to the point. So act as if. So also I left a vague but specific, vague but generally vague voicemail for him. That's one way to go about things. Hopefully we get another voicemail so I can share another way of doing things. But I don't leave a ton of information on voicemails for a very specific reason, which is that I don't want them to disqualify me without having a conversation with me. So let's call this one. We have someone coming in. We have Demetrius coming in. Hey, Demetrius.
Oh,
How's it going?
not too bad.
So just so you know, we record these. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Fantastic. Okay, so I'll bring you up to speed. This is, it's cold calling, but what I'm doing here is making MaverickApp enabled cold calls. So for people that have never replied, but I know that they've opened a bunch of emails, that's as good as it can get without it being on a silver platter. You know what I mean? So so I'm gonna feel free to ask questions after I'm done with the call. I couldn't let you in earlier, by the way, because I was on the horn with somebody for about 5 or 10 minutes. But that's basically all this is I'm showing people that you can take your marketing tools to another level by adding a human element based on the stats that your marketing created for you. So I'm going to call this guy and we'll see how it goes.
Sweet.
And if you wouldn't mind, just put yourself on mute. And then we'll open it up for questions after each call. I'm not even sure you'll be able to hear it. Some of these are just so quiet. Probably voicemail. Yeah.
Hi, this is AJ. Please leave me a voicemail at the beep. Thank you.
AJ, this is Steve Wallace calling with MaverickApp. Shoot me a call. AJ, this is Steve Wallace with MaverickApp. Shoot me a call when you get a second. 774-571-7985. Thanks, AJ. So with cold calls, I go back and forth on a voicemail based on whether or not, like, I actually find that I get a good amount of replies when my voicemail is as vague as possible. I'm just like, hey, Demetrius, it's Steve.
Yeah, that one I'm very familiar with. Just be vague.
Yep.
Like, give me a call back. As soon if they get a sniff, it's a sales call and you're done.
Exactly. So let's see. Let's call. This is another guy. I hope I understand him. We'll see. Can you hear that, Demetrius? The ring. Hi, Steve Wallace calling for Akash.
Hey, yeah, this is him, but I'm on the road. Is this urgent?
No, it is not. Is there a better time to give you a call back?
I'm on the road this whole week and the next week, actually. Can you give me a call back Monday, the 24th?
Monday, the 24th. Yeah, is there a time that's better than others?
Afternoon Eastern time.
Afternoon Eastern?
Yeah.
All right, man. I'll shoot you a call then.
All right, thanks, bye.
Yep. I'm not going to force it down their throats. Cool. So here's where I can kind of show people a little bit of MaverickApp. So I just called this guy Akash. He's opened 2 of my emails. They're relatively recently sent. And this is where I can personalize my follow-up, right? So I can put him into a engage mission, which means we've already spoken, right? And just simply modify the content in the master template for him alone. So I could do something like this, like, hey, Akash, thanks for your time on the phone, albeit brief. I'll follow up on the 24th, at which point maybe we can jump on a call. Now, call me assertive, call me aggressive, who the heck knows, but like, I've never spoken with this guy for more than 18 seconds like I just did. So I'm going to modify this message.
But
Tell
you
it to-
actually,
Yeah,
even on, I wouldn't even call this his first touch. I mean, you've never really spoken to the guy and he's like busy.
what
So
do you mean?
you still send them a follow-up. Thanks for answering my call email.
Yeah, why not?
I'm just asking.
Yeah. And I'm genuinely asking back, why not?
I don't know. I don't really know. In my head,
Yeah.
I would be like, why would I bother sending him an email when we never talked? It doesn't logically make sense.
So I have sent him a few emails, right?
Yeah.
Right. And he just answered the phone. And if I hit him with an email now, and if he sees it now, you're like, oh, this is the guy. And so, but to your point, there's not enough skin in the game for us at this point. Like, he hasn't said yes to a meeting. He hasn't said yes to a demo. We don't even know if we're a good fit to work together, right? So if he were to be pushed out of my pipeline, I've lost virtually nothing. And it's not taking me much time at all, other than this conversation.
It's just a one-click. No, I get.
Yeah.
I get the time investment. I'm just genuinely curious if that I guess my real question is, does that leak the results? Do you ever get the, I'm busy now, call me in 2 weeks, then you send a follow-up email and they're like, hell yeah, I remember your email.
I'm showing it for a reason. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Be as assertive as possible. And when people tell you to go pound sand, it's like, okay. Most people are very nice, by the way. Like he was a relatively nice guy. People don't actually tell you to pound sand too often, but yes, yeah, it does work. Absolutely. But I mean, this is a rare circumstance, right? Most of the time I'm going to get just a few minutes of their time on the phone. Let's see. I'm going to modify this just a little bit. And like I said, kind of to your point, Demetrius, I'm putting very minimal effort into this, right? Let's do that, activate, and it's done. So now that contact is officially in my I talked with you today type of message, right? So I'm going to stop that share. So let's keep on going. I have a whole bunch of people. I have sales and marketing. Okay, this is a good one. Apparently this guy's opened 25 of my emails. See, that's a louder ring. Like, why would that be a louder ring, but the other ones are so quiet?
You have reached the voicemail for Michael Bartlett. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and your call will be returned.
Michael, it's Steve with MaverickApp, 774-571-7985. Thanks. So there you go. There's an example of it, as vague as it gets. Let's see.
I was gonna say, oh yeah. So in my personal experience, I get all of these cold emails all the time.
Yeah.
Half of the time I'll click on it because it's something new without actually reading anything. Like, oh, here's an email, let me click it. There's a difference
What do
in
you
my
mean?
book.
I'm not hearing
So-
it.
So I'll get an email like, hey, Steve is sending me an email. This is before it hits my junk filter, before it hits anything. I just, in my inbox, I hit click, I look at it for 3 seconds.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, done, delete. So I don't always equate opens to any real actionable item.
Yeah.
It's just get clicked on it.
So there's two ways to look at this, right? And one's kind of just a mentality that I have, and the other is more intellectual. Let's do the mentality first. The mentality is that I just don't like the idea of waiting for something to come in. I want to go find it. I talked about this this morning,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
I like to go and get it. So if I
Go
can
hunt.
do, huh? Yeah, go hunt. Right, exactly. Yep. But that's just me, and I know not everybody's like that. The other part that is more of an intellectual understanding is I recommend people set up their the technology on the email side so that it only shows as an open when they get to the signature. So our email open link or open filter, I don't know the technology word to call it, Demetrius, but it registers as an open for us when people get to the signature.
Yeah, they click the email. So I get why.
Yeah.
I get the why, yeah.
So, but to your point, there's no wrong answer here. You know what I mean? It's kind of just what your mentality is around it. I like to, I love this stuff. All right, let's see. Get rid of that. And we have a whole bunch of people that I actually know. So we're not going to call them while they're in my pipeline right now. They'd be like, yeah, we already talked about this.
Welcome to NDP. If you know the 3-digit extension number of the employee you wish to reach, you may enter it at any time.
Hopefully we get somebody. That'd be cool.
Invalid entry.
Ooh.
Welcome to NDP. If you know the 3-digit extension number of the employee you wish to reach, you may enter it at any time. Press 1 for a dial by name directory.
Beautiful.
First,
Please use your telephone keypad to enter the first 2 or more letters of the person's first name.
And pound maybe?
Sorry,
Oh,
we could not find any names that match your entry.
okay. Then we're hanging up and moving on. And I'll delete that one. And I'll move on. Cool.
Probably doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it could be. By what I'm looking at, he's an older cat. So that's totally fine. Let's see. Know that person. Okay. Got that, got that. 1 second. No. Oh, here we go. Here's one that I've been trying to get for a while. Let's see what we can do here. He might laugh at me.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 20340000077 is not available. At the tone, please record your message. When you have finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hey, well, it's Steve Wallace with MaverickApp. Hope you're doing well. We've been going back and forth for a little bit now, and the intention of this call is really just to gauge your timeline as far as when it would be best to follow up with you. Not to put something on the books, but in your mind, when it would be best for me to reach back out. Let me know. Shoot me a text. Shoot me a call. I think you have my number. Just in case, it's 774-571-7985. Thanks. Bye. I'm going to get him. All right, let's keep on going. Ooh, good Mark. All right, let's try this one. Is he? Very rarely do you get a busy tone anymore, huh?
Hmm.
Let's see. Add a product. Okay, no. Marketing. Okay. There we go.
Security warranty. This call may be recorded for quality assurance purposes. For the claims department or coverage related questions, please press 3. For 24-hour roadside assistance, please press 2. For the dealer services department, please press 1. Our main office is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
Nothing has been selected. Thank you for calling Integrity Warranty. This call may be recorded for quality assurance purposes. For the claims department or coverage related questions, please press 3. For 24-hour roadside assistance, please press 2.
No.
For the dealer services department, please press 1.
No.
Our main office is
Okay, so that's not the right way in there. We're just going to keep on going. Let's see.
I like to #0 to get to the operator and ask,
I should have
hey,
tried that.
Dr. Steven, who's calling? Oh, this is Steven from Maverick. Okay. Like, you just act like you know the guy. And it's the one thing that worked for us fairly consistently. Of course,
Yeah.
there's always a random gatekeeper like, who are you? What do you want with them? What's your business? I'm like, whoa, lady.
Yeah, well, that's their job, right?
Yeah, we get it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't envy anybody that position. Telling people no all day. I would love to get someone on the phone here. Oh, I know who will do.
I do have a hard stop, bud.
Yeah, that's fine. You can, whatever you need.
Please leave your message for
Emerson Smith.
Emerson, Steve Wallace with MaverickApp shooting you a call real quick to talk about some business development ideas I had for you. 774-571-7985. All right. So what time did you say you had to go, Demetrius? Or let's see if I can get it. 2538. Okay.
Hello.
Bernard, hey, Steve Wallace with MaverickApp.
Hey, how are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Hey, I know I'm catching you in the middle of your day, but I was hoping that we could take our conversation by email and move it to a demo at some point, maybe like next week. We've been kicking it down the road.
I'm just so busy with the administration stuff right now. I don't really know. But if you want to shoot me an email for demo times next week, I could probably schedule a certain time. It's just right now I'm in the middle of being a lawyer, being a global trader, and acting like a bank official at the same time. So
Multiple hats, huh?
yeah, I appreciate you reaching out. So
Yeah.
if you could send me like your demo times, probably like next week near the end of the week would be best, just because should be through most of this grunt work by then.
So
that could be great.
So I'm happy to move it at that speed and send those your way. My challenge is I've sent a couple that way. So I guess my real question to you, Bernard, is if you want me to go pound sand and you're not really interested, that's fine. I accept a no. But if you are interested, just let me know which one of the times I send will work. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's all love. It's all good. Like we're interested. It's just like I said, everything's hard. Takes time. Everything is a beast. And something as simple as, setting up a bank account ever since COVID is literally like walking through hell.
Guy, I got married in the middle of COVID. My wife and I got married virtually. We were in the same room together, but everybody else, all of our visitors were virtual. To get the license was a nightmare. To go and set up the links to have everybody attend was a nightmare. Everything was just, the point is I get it.
Yeah, no, and that's crazy, but congrats on getting married. But yeah, I can only imagine, you know what I mean? Ever since 2020, it just seems like, everything's hard. So we do really want to, move forward, work with you, etc. But, I'm telling you 2 months ago, hey, we should be ready tomorrow. And now here I am. It's almost June and I'm still not ready because I'm dancing through more red tape all day, every day. So
sounds like you need some help.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. I do get it. I really do understand. It's a tough time to be. I don't want to say this and make it sound like your business is small, but it's a tough time to be not a multinational, hundreds of revenue, millions of revenue per year type of company. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We essentially we didn't even want to go live if we weren't set up to be a multinational company.
Right.
So not only is it the worst time to not be one of those, we are also in the worst time in history, our hardest time in history, to become one of those. So the fact that we essentially will be multinational essentially from day one is pretty cool. But yeah, it's been a fucking shit show making it happen. Which is why, you know, we are going to be successful, and we are successful because most other people have no idea even where to begin, you know, when it comes to starting something that is, you know, planning to go public one day and be in multiple countries. So,
I love that.
Successful people are good at doing hard stuff well, and that's what we pride ourselves on here. So yeah, hopefully we could work with you to do our sales well.
Love it, man. I'm on board, and what I'll do is, like you said, is I'll send a couple of times for next week and maybe a couple of the week after, give you some flexibility. And you know me, I'll follow up.
All right, yeah, sounds good, man. Thanks for being persistent. I do look forward to, you know, checking it out, and I'll definitely respond to your email. I'll ping it once you send me it, so it's at the top of my inbox.
Fire, man. Keep on grinding.
All right, thanks, bro. You too. Have
Yeah.
a good one.
Bye. That went well. So he put me through the ringer last time. He just would not give me any kind of commitments whatsoever. And this is kind of what I love about MaverickApp, and it's as much an education session, Demetrius, for you, but also for anybody who watches this, because we repurpose this content. Like I've that's the second actual call that I've had with him. I've spent a total of whatever length of call that was, right? Plus the 20 minutes in our previous call. So that's 24 minutes on the phone, but MaverickApp has dropped 15 emails in front of him. So like, so that one's just a matter of time. And I would say to anybody who watches, just be a human being. You know,
no, I get it. It's really about connecting and being personable.
Yeah.
Instead of sounding like a drone, like, oh, hi, I'm Steve from MaverickApp, and here's the solution that has all this nice, you know, bullet point features for you guys. No one wants to hear that.
Yep, exactly. So true. So it's 1:52. I would have liked to have made a few more calls, but having said that, it's probably a good time for Demetrius. Like if you have any Q&A, so to anybody who's here, Demetrius is a MaverickApp user, but he kind of dropped in unexpectedly, which is pretty awesome. We love when we get that kind of stuff. But do you have any questions, Demetrius, or Q&A that you think would be valuable to someone who might watch this at another time?
Oh, I think honestly, my only real question is, what makes you decide whether someone is worth calling or not out of the hundreds of emails that have opens?
Yeah. It's pretty straightforward for me, actually. I don't put a ton of time into it. And because I generally get at least one or two people on the phone every hour, and because I have conversations like that, I don't view any time invested into this as a waste. So keeping all that in mind, all I do is I run a report in Maverick for the last 30 days. I export it, and then I sort it by opens. And then as I go down that list, and that list is pretty long. I mean, there's I have hundreds of people here, hundreds. Yeah, I have 365 rows, and I'm a quarter of the way through the sheet. So all I do is I use my eyes to just filter through the contacts that I know are not my ideal fit, right? So like we can work with some attorneys, but I skipped over all the attorneys in the first 100 rows. I didn't call any of them because they're just not people who appreciate prospecting, right? And we can work with them for the engagement side, which is what we do for email, but not prospecting. So long story short, Demetrius, I export the report for a certain amount of time. I sort it by opens, and then and work my way just down the list.
Makes sense.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Happy to help anytime I can, man. Very soon, excuse me, very soon, Brent and I will be doing a repetitive like workshop for our Pro and Catapult users to like ask questions, jump into your account if you're comfortable sharing it, or jump into a Pro or Catapult user's account if they're comfortable sharing it, and talk about how to maximize a subscription. It's basically going to be a working session for all of our Pro and Catapult users. So would love to have you join.
Okay, yeah, let me know.
You bet. Anything else?
No.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm just going to take the opportunity to wrap this up and say, Demetrius, thanks for joining. To anybody who sees this at a later point in time, thanks for watching this. This is something that we do every single second Tuesday of the month at 1 p.m. Eastern, where I will literally just make as many calls and coach as many people and give as many tips as I can. Watch the beginning of this for the first 5-6 minutes or so. I talk about cold calling best practices and getting yourself into the right headspace and the right setup over here. And keep on joining, keep on signing up, and thanks for being here. Till then, see you later. Have a good one, Demetrius. Thanks, everybody.
See you, man.